Please take your seats. The meeting is about to begin. Please stand by. We are going on air in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. Please stand by. We are going on air in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the awards and presentation meeting. Thanks for being here. For whoever has not seen our new chambers, welcome. This is our sort of second commission meeting together as a body in this chambers. And most of all, thank you to all of you. We're here for a reason to recognize and thank our residents who make our city so much better, who make us better every day. So that's why we're here to acknowledge you. But even those who are not here in the audience, who are watching on TV, we hear you, and always feel free to reach out. And in any way you can want to contribute to our city and get involved, volunteer, please let one of us know, because there's always a need for things, and that's why we're recognizing people today. So this is the hybrid meeting. I'm going to turn to our city clerk, Raphael, to announce the Zoom information.
Good afternoon, everyone. During this hybrid presentation and awards commission meeting, the City Commission is physically present in the Commission Chamber, located at Miami Beach City Hall, 1700 Convention Center Drive, Miami Beach, Florida. 5449.
First presentation, I'm going to do all of us. Thank the ambassadors who had us during spring break. These are all volunteer time. And a lot of things to go around. We've been talking about it quite a bit. Their personal, and extremely appreciated by the rest of us. Thank you.
O'Neill Rodriguez, Franklin Bartley Jr., Misha Ryabov. Thank you so much for all of your help with transportation and logistics and making sure that the city was welcome. So should we go to the middle and take a picture?
Okay, we're going to go to PA 15, Proclamation for Hatsulah, South Florida. Why don't you come up here? So for those not familiar, Hatsulah is a all-volunteer ambulance service that, if you've never seen them in action, it's something to behold. And by the way, it's not to take away from our fire department and the incredible work they do, but their response time is incredible. And think about it, these are volunteers. These are individuals having dinner with their family. They could be in synagogue, middle of the night. It does not matter. They answer the call. And personally, thank God it was never anything serious, but I've personally called for family members, and they come quickly, they come with care, they come with love. I cannot say enough about them. And a couple of years ago, the state of Florida and the governor signed into law allowing them to have ambulances, which was not allowed previously. So now their services are expanded tremendously. They have over 250 individuals in South Florida who do what they do, and I can't think of many things that are more selfless and giving back to literally volunteer and save lives, literally saves lives. But even when you're not saving a life, a person's in a situation where they're calling for emergency help, and they have the comfort of somebody coming so quickly, and usually it's somebody they know. You're all well known and people, familiar faces. It means a lot to people. So thank you for doing what you do every day. You want to say something? Want to speak?
My name is Mendel Sasanko. I'm a lifelong Miami Beach resident. I joined Hatzalah about 5 years ago. And we've been operating, Hatzalah in Miami Beach has started about in 2008, so about 14, 15 years already. We recently, as the mayor said, had the law signed into Florida law stating that we are allowed to transport patients, so we're a full-fledged emergency medical service. I personally have a wife and 4 kids at home. They all know if it's in the middle of Yom Kippur or if it's the middle of some Sabbath dinner when I have guests at my house. If the radio goes off, they know they may not see me for the next 2 hours or so to treat a patient. All of this is volunteer. All of this is not paid for by anybody but funds raised that we raise from our communities. And it's humbling to stand here and be awarded by this, with this proclamation from the city of Miami Beach, coming from the, obviously, mayor's office. It's really a testament to the dedication from all of my members here in Miami Beach that help out and do a good job in the middle of the night, as we said, in the middle of synagogue or whatever it is, to come and help anybody who calls for our services. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you to the Commission for giving us this opportunity. And we're open for anybody who needs to call. We obviously have a great relationship with the local officials, with the police, with the fire rescue. In fact, 3 of us here went to paramedic school, and our instructors were Miami Beach Fire Rescue paramedics, senior paramedics that were our instructors. So we have a great relationship with them as well. And it's great to work along with everybody in the city. And we always have told the officials in the city that if there's any time a need for our services, if there's a city need, we're always open to helping out, helping hand whenever the need arises, if it's a catastrophe that happens, or even something nice like a big event. If there's some overwhelming circumstances in the city, we're always open to help. So please use our services.
Thank you. Called PA 11. Commissioner Rosen Gonzalez.
So PA 11. Can I bring the members of our homeless outreach team, Bo Hall, everybody? Can you guys come up for a second? I received a call from a resident that in Flamingo Park, a couple of homeless guys had literally taken over a building. And the building was a working class building of mostly Central American, Spanish-speaking residents who probably didn't know who to reach out to. And these homeless had set up shop there, and they had actually taken over the building. And so she's not here, but Liliana Martinez made a phone call to Mr. Boha, and all of you responded. And immediately you went to the scene, and you were able to enforce our law and remove the homeless encampment and kind of free this building from the situation that they were in. And I just wanted to show our appreciation to all of you, because it's not easy work, and you never know what a homeless person is going to do. Are they going to come at you, attack you, stab you with something, spit on you? So these guys are on the front lines, and they're doing really hard work. So thank you so much. I would like to mention your names before I come down and give you all the certificates. We have Jerome the Bear Berrien, Sergeant. Our homeless liaison specialist, Borinquen Boha. Officer Melissa Rosa. Officer Gustavo Villamil. Officer Yoe Merida. And Officer Alan Perez. Thank you so much for all you do.
You could all just scoot down a bit. Everybody scoots to the center. It's called PA2, Vice Mayor Laura Dominguez.
Thank you. And so PA2 deals with more sister cities. First, I'm going to recognize a business, and then the chamber. The organization I want to recognize is Tom Pupo of Moonlighter Fab Lab. They're right across the street from City Hall. They do fantastic work. So many of the residents take part in that. There's nonprofits that are housed within there and have their offices and do their work. But when Sister Cities was coming to visit Fujisawa, I needed 6 gifts, and I needed them fast, and more important, I needed them free. And he did it. So thank you so much, Tom Pupo and Moonlighter Fab Lab.
I'm going to call PA14.
The second part is the chamber.
Sorry, go ahead.
So, The Chamber has been an amazing partner to Miami Beach for many, many years. And the Chamber has been an amazing partner when it comes to sister cities, because without them even being asked, in 2019, they were handed the opportunity to do sister cities. They had basically a teeny tiny budget, and they made it happen. They were an incredible partner. So to recognize the outstanding contributions of the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce to the Sister Cities program, the Miami Beach Sister Cities program has been a long-term partnership, and the Chamber has really exemplified leadership in administering the program, enhancing the cultural exchange, and you're still going to be involved, and you're part of the committee, and we couldn't have moved forward without you. So with that, we have a special certificate of recognition signed by all the commissioners and the mayor. Thank you, Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce, so much.
I'm going to call PA 14, a proclamation recognizing Israel's 76th anniversary Day of Independence. I'm going to ask Kenny to come up while I speak briefly. Kenny is the Director of Political Affairs from the Consulate General of Israel in Miami. And I don't do that many proclamations today. I think I did 4 in about 4.5 years. Today I probably have 4 or 5. But this was important for me to do, and I think for our entire commission. October 7th was the darkest day, and we've done a lot as a commission to get together collectively, whether it be sending firefighters to Israel, donating an ambulance, increasing our purchases of Israeli bonds. But it's important to recognize what the anniversary means. And I say it's the 76th anniversary of the modern state of Israel, because there's been Jewish people in Israel for over 3,000 years. But certainly to have that independence for the first time in several thousand years, over 2,000 years, without having ability to govern yourself, which really every other nation has that ability. And Israel is constantly fighting for that recognition that they have the same right and the same right of self-defense that every other country.
For your friendship, Mayor Minor, and the whole city of Miami Beach. This is yet another example, this proclamation, of a beautiful friendship and support between the state of Israel, the city of Miami Beach, and we're truly grateful for that.
Thank you. And we pray. And we pray for peace. Thank you.
Commissioner Bach, can you stand off to the side? Look to the middle. Commissioner Fernandez. Yes. To the middle.
Let's do PA7, Vice Mayor Laura Dominguez.
Thank you.
Want to challenge that. And it speaks why we need to continue doing these proclamations. We think we've gotten far, but everything that we've been achieved in today's political climate of hate against minorities, of hate against Hispanics, of hate against towards the Jewish community, of hate against towards the Black community, of hate against the LGBTQ community. There are people who want to strip this all away from us, but they can't strip our love. And that's what fuels us, and that's what unites us forward. Michael, I don't know if you'd like to say a few words.
Sure. No, I will say, I produce Winter Party Festival, and we've had people ask, like, how can you continue to do this in the state of Florida? And what I say to them is, this isn't the state of Florida, this is Miami Beach. And this is the beacon of welcome for the LGBTQ community. So the city has always been so supportive of our community. You've given this committee your aid to help us do great.
You in 18 made it very difficult to even understand how to pay to get your rights restored. So instead of people who served their time and wanted to go in across the state of Florida, they had to pay fines for 10, 20, even 30 years. They couldn't even find them. So what they did, they tried to circumvent this with a bunch of bureaucratic tape. But then we have people like Dwayne, wait, Bird, he said, I'm going to do something. And you have been working tirelessly to help restore voters' voting rights. If you would like to say a few words of the work, I'm not quite sure exactly how many people. Why not? And then I'll have you say something. Okay. Dwayne Thwaite has dedicated the past decade advocating tirelessly for higher wages, better work conditions, and dignified workers across Miami-Dade. Since 2020, Mr. has done championing the restoration of for formerly incarcerated citizens. Mr. Wade established the first NAACP, chapter where led initiatives raising approximately families. Mr. efforts with Miami Foreman's Initiative and the Restoration has played a pivotal role in reinstating your rights and driver's license for countless schools, while also providing enable to those seeking to expunge criminal clemency or address outstanding legal obligations. Mr. Thwaite has significantly contributed to the betterment of the lives of many members of the community, fostering increased involvement, productivity, and innovation within society, passionately advocating for the implementation of legislation offering second chances and restorative policies. The devoted has exemplified resilience, compassion, unwavering dedication to his family and community. Now, therefore, do we, as commissioners of the city of Miami Beach, hereby proclaim 22nd, 2024 as Dwayne Thwaite.
Reality, I was undoing all the things that I was claiming I was doing. Since then, I've worked towards fighting for opportunities and chance for everyone. My motto is, I have to make everyone's life better, period. Doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter the circumstance, it doesn't matter the situation, who, race, creed, whatever. If they're in front of me, I feel obligated to try to make their lives better, because if I can do that, then maybe they can make mine. I want to acknowledge that you guys did something for me that's extremely rare and unusual. People that do what I do very seldom get recognized. Usually we get ridiculed by people. People tend to think that we're wasting our time, a lot of people are not worth it, etc. the fact that today you guys even recognized a small person like myself for what I've done says a lot in itself. I want to thank you guys for the recognition. I want to correct one thing. Florida Rights Restoration Coalition is the organization that pushed Amendment 4. And every day we fight for the rights for returning citizens so they can get their right to vote, their privilege to become normal. Because once you have a felony conviction, you've lost all your rights. And you're never really given a chance to get back into society. I believe everyone in this chamber right now has expressed and shown the ability to give back to others, and I believe they will do the exact same for people like me who have been to prison. I thank everyone here. Thank you.
Thank you. Love the passion. PA3, Vice Mayor Laura Dominguez.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is a certificate of recognition to the Police Citizens Subcommittee for their efforts in suggestions for spring break. So last year in 2023, when the commission was talking about spring break, this was in the late spring, early summer, the Police Citizens Committee sent an LTC suggesting a spring break task force. And it was recommended that they be that task force. And I was so impressed with the Police Citizens Committee chaired by Seth Fewer. He was so professional. He invited me to the meeting, presented it to the group, created a subcommittee, and the subcommittee would meet monthly and send us suggestions on how we can improve in spring break. And I am so grateful. So I wanted to give a certificate of recognition for the time that all of you spent to make sure that our spring break was successful. So thank you to Seth Fewer, Alexander Fried, Christine Klingspour, Lisa Cole, and Jill Shockett.
Since you're on a roll, Vice Mayor, why don't you take PA4?
So PA4 is to recognize the Black Affairs Committee members for their spring break advisory efforts. One thing's for sure, a lot of people in the community cared about spring break. And the Black Affairs Committee really went to work. They put a lot of work into the ideas and suggestions that they gave throughout the year by sending us LTCs. One of them was activating the Goodwill Ambassadors. So thank you to the Black Affairs Committee for doing that. You also talked about messaging and communication, and that really helped in so many ways. You also were involved with meeting with the police department and discussing police enforcement and addressing all of the lack of diversity. So with that, Glendon Hall and the entire Black Affairs Committee, I thank you, Bill Warren, Troy Wright, Melba Pearson, Dory Foster, and Henry Williams. Thank you so much. Oh, front and center, Bibi Andrade. Vice Chair Bibi Andrade.
Yes.
Thanks to the partnership.
Good afternoon. I'd like to make a few comments. So I want to thank Commissioner Dominguez on behalf of the BAC for this recognition for all the work that we've done. And we've been doing it since 2021. It's been a lot of work. And you know, when you volunteer, it's kind of thankless to bring some solutions to these high impact periods in the city and show our steadfast support for Miami Beach PD and the Goodwill Ambassadors, right? We'd like to thank Vice Chair Bibi Andrade. Where'd she go? There you go. All right. For all her work also, and the rest of the committee that is here. And finally, I'd like to thank Lizette. Where's Lizette and the staff? I see. She didn't expect that. For the support. We do a lot of work and we do a lot of documentation for LTCs and our minutes, etc. We are a very strong working group. And also, I like to continue the work that we do. It's not just spring break. We want to deal with equity, inclusion, and we call our 3 Ps: procurement, policy, and programming. And so hopefully everybody can get together soon before the Harlem Renaissance exhibit closes at Wilsonian. Go check that out. It's fantastic. Get you guys go over there. So on that, thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's call up PA6. It's actually my item. It's a certificate of recognition presented to everyone that worked on the Breaking Up with Spring Break campaign. This is one of the coolest marketing pieces that I've ever seen. You know, usually when you come up with a marketing campaign, certainly our cities historically has tried to promote responsible behavior, but this one took a different turn. This one was, we're breaking up with you. And PJ, why don't you show the video just so we can see it one more time?
We need to talk. This isn't working anymore.
And it's not us, it's you. We just want different things.
Our idea of a good time is relaxing on the beach.
Hitting up the spot or checking out a new restaurant.
You just want to get drunk in public and ignore laws.
Do you even remember what happened last March?
That was our breaking point, so we're breaking up with you.
And don't try to apologize and come crawling back. This isn't safe, so we're done.
And just so you know, we're serious.
This March, you can expect things like curfews, bag checks, and restricted beach access.
DUI checkpoints, $100 parking, and strong police enforcement for drug possession and violence.
Whatever it takes, because it's time to move on.
Maybe we can talk when you're done with your spring break phase, but until then,
I think one of the best parts about this spring break, besides the obvious success, was so many things, so many people worked together to make this happen. From a legislative, all of us as legislators, our city administration, our police department, every department, our goodwill ambassadors who we just recognized. But the marketing campaign was the face of all this, and it couldn't have been that. It's an instrumental part of what we were getting out and the messages we were getting out. I have to read a couple of statistics that are just literally, they blow your mind. An estimated 19.8 billion, just make sure who's listening, it's a B, media impressions, over 1,000 news stories featured by 197 news organizations, the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, it goes on, CNN, Fox News, others. I mean, this was a global, and pretty much, I know I had a lot of TV interviews with local media stations, but also national, and they always would air that clip as part of the piece, which I think was so instrumental in the success we had. And personally, I think it just resonates with everybody, whether you're young, middle-aged, or older. It's kind of, you watch it and everybody has a reaction to it because it really hits home to every single person. So kudos to everyone who worked on this. And I'm going to read out some names of some folks. First of all, I want to thank the GMCVB team, the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau. We had a great event yesterday at the Port of Miami. I want to specifically recognize Gisela Marti, Jennifer Diaz Alzuri, Tamara Walker, also the VML team, the Creative Ad Agency, Jamie Barron, Marissa Goodhue, Danny Miniker, Sebastian Tarazaga, and Stephanie Blackham. But most of all, since it's dear to us and people we work with literally every day, I want to recognize our team, but starting with our director, Melissa Berthier. And also Matt Kenny, Madison Brown, Pierre Joseph, better known as PJ up there, Aliette Forney. And I mean, I could read the certificate, but I think I think we know how appreciative we are of your creativity in getting that word out. Do you want to say something?
Thank you. Well, now that you put me on the spot, 19.8 billion and counting. So thank you for watching yet again. And it really does take a village, and I'm so grateful to our partnership with the GMCVB and their agency VML has really been magnificent, and we hope to produce more and more work, so stay tuned for the summer.
And Melissa, I assume you're getting ready for next year too, right?
We are definitely getting ready for next year.
Excellent, thanks.
Take a photo.
go to PA9. I want to recognize our Public Works Department. Is Joe Gomez in the house? There he is. You know, we talk a lot about, every department in our city is important. I never want anybody to think otherwise, but some get more notice than others, and certainly our police department, our fire department, code. But really what makes the city run in many ways is what our Public Works Department does day in and day out, and you're obviously the face of it. I know you have a great team behind you. I literally communicate, or someone from my team communicates with you guys all the time, and you're tremendously responsive. But you know, some of that is I don't want to say the little things, because when you look at our survey that just came out, you know, the sidewalks and fixing those is up there, so I know that's something we'll be working on. But also literally the resiliency, the infrastructure, the underbelly of our city that makes everything run comes under Public Works in your department, and we're making upgrades. Infrastructure is incredibly important. It's something that we are not going to kick the can down the road anymore. We are working on those things. We're doing it, and no pressure, but you're going to make it happen.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor Dominguez, Honorable Commissioners, on behalf of the 350 plus men and women of the Public Works Department, thank you for this recognition. We're not a sexy department, but we get the job done. Our dedicated men and women work round the clock, 365 days a year to keep our city going. And they work under extreme conditions to get the job done. And I am incredibly proud and honored to be working with them alongside. And the team is here. Some of the team members are here today who get the job done. I'm just the face of the department. But I thank you so very much, and I want our residents to know that we're here for them each and every day. Thank you.
Thank you. It's always a good week to recognize our Public Works Department, but this is National Public Works Week,
Yes,
so have to mention that.
Thank you. Come on, let's go. Thanks.
I'm not going to let Eric get away with it. PA 13, Vice Mayor Laura Dominguez.
Thank you. Okay, so this proclamation is presented to Alex Kruger DeBroda for Fleet Week. And a little bit about Alex. He emailed all of the commissioners, and Commissioner Alex Fernandez sponsored an item, which we heard and approved. Throughout Fleet Week, I attended many of the events and saw Alex on many different occasions, including one where it's nighttime and he's telling me, the bleachers are going to come on Friday. Can you make sure that somebody in the city is aware, because it's a new time? He was on top of it every step of the way. My favorite, besides being on the baton was the Olympics, the Top Gun Olympics, and you executed everything so beautifully. So I wanted to recognize you along with my colleagues. City of Miami Beach would like to recognize Alex Kruger DeBroda, a military veteran, community leader, and seasoned entrepreneur. With a rich background in business and real estate, Alex is engaged in various entrepreneurial pursuits and holds a significant role in supporting the military and veteran community as he serves as the Senior Vice Commander of the Miami Beach Veterans of Foreign Wars. Recently, Mr. Kruger DeBroda played a pivotal role in organizing the highly anticipated Fleet Week Top Gun Beach Olympics, along with 7 other exciting Fleet Week events. Alex's exceptional leadership skills and military background were instrumental in creating impactful experiences that merged military traditions and community engagement. With an impressive track record of exemplary leadership, innovative thinking, and profound impact on the community, Alex consistently inspires and spearheads positive change across diverse sectors. His unwavering passion, combined with dedication to serving others, truly defines his remarkable journey of success and influence. Now, therefore, do we as mayor and commissioners of the City of Miami Beach proclaim May 22, 2024, Alex Kruger DeBroda Day. Congratulations. And you're welcome here with your wife and your beautiful children, if you'd like to say a few things.
Thank you, everybody, the commission, the mayor, Alex Fernandez for the last minute request for sponsoring. It was literally like hours before the deadline. And then I was waiting in the commission office and you made it happen. You saw the vision. Thank you to all the commissioners, the mayor for seeing the vision. The commission meeting day where I was supposed to present, I was there from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. It was the last item. You guys approved it within seconds. And so really it's a culmination of the support from the City of Miami Beach, all the different departments. I'd like to give a shout out to Lisette Aragante from the Director of Culture and Tourism. She was with me every step of the way, and you know we made it happen eventually. The military definitely threw in some extras. What was really, really interesting about this event, which I think never happened before, was the Navy SEALs and Coast Guard. They jumped out of a helicopter to deliver award medals in the ocean right off of South Beach and swam to shore and delivered it to our city dignitaries, the police commission, the police chief, fire chief, as well as I think it was 4 admirals that were there from Fleet Week as well, to give to the winning team, which I'm happy to say was Miami Beach PD. So they. So just to finish off, Fleet Week, it's all going to be alternating between here and Broward every year, so it's slated for 2026. So we'll be back in 2 years. Let's see if Miami Beach PD can defend their championship title.
And I would like to just point out that last week, Alex's hair was down to or past his shoulders, but he worked so hard that it shrank.
PA 12, Vice Mayor Laura Dominguez.
Thank you, Mayor. This proclamation is for Alan Stang, and I'll read you a proclamation here about him. The City of Miami Beach, whereas Alan Stang, a dedicated resident of Miami Beach, has generously contributed over 300 volunteer hours to our city in the past year alone, and has been an active member of the CERT team since completing training in 2004. Mr. Stang has been a resident of Miami Beach since 1955, graduated from Miami Beach Senior High in 1963, raised 4 children with his wife, Alba Cedeno. His commitment to volunteerism is exemplary, always stepping forward to assist in times of need, including deployment for 2 hurricanes with the Florida State Emergency Response Team. In recognition of his outstanding contributions, Mr. Stang will receive the prestigious Silver Award, which includes a crafted silver medallion, which is here, and certificate signed by President Joe Biden. So today, as mayor and commissioners of the city of Miami Beach, we do hereby proclaim May 22nd, 2024, Alan Stang Day. Did you want to say a few words? Laura, thank you so much. I really appreciate all that you've done for our city.
Commissioner, I could say a few words for us.
Yes, please.
You have to step to the mic.
Come to the podium.
Okay, I just wanted to say a few things. Alan was one of the very first volunteers that actually showed up when CERT was created here in Miami Beach. CERT is a community emergency response team. And he was one of the first volunteers, and he's always here constantly volunteering. You know, he's on our team lead as well. And he's one of the ones that helps create this program in Miami Beach. I can also say right now, if you're CERT trained in this room, please stand up. Please stand up. All right, we're going to get a picture with him because he knows that. But it's just a program that we want to train employees, citizens, faith-based. And Laura didn't stand up. I didn't see you stand up. Okay. You know, to be trained in your community. And it's a volunteer program that's there for when we have a disaster. So, Alan, you're an awesome person. Part of Alan's volunteer is also with the Citizens Police Patrol. So that's some of the hours. That's right, you are. Oh, I thought it was a fireman thing.
Next item, PA 16, is a certificate of recognition presented to city staff who assisted in the renovation of these commission chambers. That's my item. I think I have more items today, proclamations and certificate of recognition, than I've had in 4.5 years. So, but it's important, I guess that's part of the role as mayors, to recognize the hard work that our city employees and staff do that often doesn't get recognized. So this project to renovate these chambers started when I was still commissioner and before some of us were even on the dais. And last week we had our first commission meeting back here in the chambers. And it's important, these this room had not been renovated in 40-something years, and certainly in many aspects had been dated technologically and otherwise. So it's important that not only for us, but also for our residents who come to these meetings. And it's not just commission meetings. We have different boards and committee meetings here that take place as well. So I want to thank everyone who was so involved in making it happen, our facilities and fleet management department, our IT department, our Office of Marketing and Communications. There's a tremendous amount of work that goes into this. I also want to give a special shout out to PJ and his team. They had to disassemble the production in the convention center and then bring it back here. They had to do that a couple of times. That is not easy, and to make sure it works seamlessly. So thank you for that. There's probably too many names to mention to thank everyone, so I'm not going to, but know that you're appreciated, and thank you. Let's do... So this is my last one of the day. There's a couple more after this. A certificate of appreciation to a handful of our staff members who assisted individuals in preparing tax returns. It's a big deal. Luckily for me, I have family members, my dad who's a CPA, but for those who don't know how to do it, it could be quite daunting. And the fact that our city provides these services in partnership with Branches Inc. To help file these through the Volunteer Income Tax Assistant VITA program. I want to specifically mention the individuals by name. There's 5 individuals who are city employees but volunteered their time, stayed late, helping our community and our residents to be able to do something that otherwise would be not only difficult but can be quite expensive if you have to go out and find someone to do that. So specifically, I want to mention Paola Arboleta, Administrative Supports Manager. Ukrainia Masso, Caseworker. Julian Bernal, Program Supervisor. Alexander Reyes, Caseworker. And Vanessa Lopez, who at the time was a temporary employee, as now is a full-time employee. So thank you. And again, thank you for your volunteerism and dedication.
And if I could, Mayor, I just want to highlight our department director, Alba Tare, and Marcelo Rubio, our assistant director.
Call up PA 18. Commissioner Bott.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. So, you know, there are a lot of beautiful coastal towns around the world and even in our fair state of Florida. There are lots that have nightlife and entertainment, but there are very few that have everything that we have here in Miami Beach. In fact, I would go so far as to say maybe none have exactly what we have here. And part of what makes us so unique in the world of urban beaches is that not only do we have a stunning beach and lots of things to do when you are bored of being on that stunning beach, but we have this incredible built environment that goes back to the founding of our city. We have what I like to call an open-air architectural museum, and it is not just the Art Deco that we all think of as Florida's postcard on Ocean Drive, although that is quite stunning. But it is the Neo-Mediterranean that we have throughout the residential neighborhoods. It is the Miami Modern that we see in the 50s and 60s in particular with Morris Lapidus and other esteemed architects that take us through decade after decade of really interesting architectural development. It sets us apart from other beach towns and cities because we have fought as a community so hard to save that, starting in the 80s with the formation of the Miami Design Preservation League after Barbara Capitman, I think, literally chained herself to a building, and if not literally, figuratively chained herself to a building to try to prevent its demolition. That really elevated the conversation about what it means to have character of place and what we need to do as a community to preserve character of place, which sets us apart. You know, people could just go to Sunny Isles if they wanted a nice urban beach. There are good restaurants there and plenty of things to do there, but they don't. They come here to Miami Beach, and Miami Beach, in large part thanks to its amazing character of place, is second in state contributions or contributions to the state coffers, only second to Disney World. Think about that for a second. So when we are fighting like cats, scratching to get out of a bag to make sure or to try to protect ourselves from state preemptions that eviscerate our ability to govern ourselves, to protect our buildings, to make sure that we are in control of who can demolish what and for what reasons, and who can build what to what size and for what reasons, all of that is led in very large part through the Miami Design Preservation League. And thankfully, we sit on a dais, even though not all of our colleagues are here with us today, but where we are very unified in preserving that mission, preserving the mission of the Preservation League. So with that being said, if you don't know, MDPL's headquarters is at 10th and Ocean. If you haven't been, I can't imagine anybody in this room not having been, but there's an amazing museum and facility there that is in the Coast Guard, not the Coast Guard, the Lifeguard. It's right behind the Lifeguard Patrol Station, which in and of itself is a gorgeous building. There is GO bond money that is helping to fund a renovation of this great facility. There are ongoing exhibitions and lectures on a rotating basis. Here's a pro tip. They have a great gift shop. Phenomenal gift shop, and Miami Beach residents get a 10% discount if I'm not wrong. And if you're looking for that hard to buy person, there you will find something in a pinch. So, but seriously, Daniel, who's been the face of MDPL for many, many years, and is the reason, part of the reason why I'm sitting here now, because he was my first foray into local activism, and so anything you don't like, you can blame him directly. I just wanted to honor you, honor the organization, all the volunteers, and the paid staff who make this work. It is very largely volunteer driven with the tour guides and the board and everybody who lends a hand to making this all work. So now, therefore, on behalf of the Mayor and Commission of the City of Miami Beach, do we hereby honor the Miami Design Preservation League for its dedication to historic preservation, economic development, and the resilience of our city during the National Historic Preservation Month. So thank you for the excellent work that you do.
Just very quickly, I want to thank you all, Daniel Serraldo with Miami Design Preservation League. I also wanted to thank Sandy Sidmore, our board secretary, and Sarah Leddick, who's been on our board a long time as well, and now chairs our programs committee. And it's really their dedication. And Sandy, you're celebrating how many years of being a volunteer tour guide? 25 years. So we are so grateful to all of our amazing guides and members, and to the city. Like the commissioner said, it was in this very room that Barbara Kappeman dedicated herself to saving Art Deco and came before the commission, which looked a little different back then and really didn't agree with her, but really made a big difference. So we're so happy to continue on that mission with all of your support. Thank you.
Last but not least, Commissioner Fernandez, recognizing Cuban Independence Day.
There we go. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I wanted to take this moment to recognize Cuban Independence Day. It sounds kind of odd because Cuba really isn't free. And I wanted to reflect on the harrowing plight of families like mine that were torn apart by the oppressive grip of Cuba's communist regime. And I decided to do this because I was thinking about May 20th, el 20 de Mayo, a few days ago, and everything that I learned about it over the course of my life. And it just kind of hit home, realizing that my last living grandparent had passed away this year. And what we learned from the past generations to help form our ideas and our values and who we are for the next generation. And it drove me to place this item on the agenda. It reminded me of my grandfather, once a banker in Cuba who was forced to flee to Puerto Rico to escape the persecution of a corrupt government. My father, who was sent to the United States on Operation Peter Pan, on a flight of Operation Peter Pan, separated from his family in a desperate bid for freedom, a freedom that he truly didn't enjoy until my grandmother, my abuela Mary, was able to escape on a 4th of July, that she was able to get to the United States. A regime in Cuba that has not only shattered families, but has executed and imprisoned countless souls merely for daring to dream of democracy. And we have to think about the very treatment against the LGBTQ community, who were persecuted, who were incarcerated, who were placed in forced labor camps in the 60s and the 70s, the long history of repressing religious freedoms, the 4 members of our very own South Florida community who were persecuted by the Cuban government in international waters, the members of Brothers to the Rescue that were trying to just help individuals flee oppression and make it to the United States. The Black Spring in 2003, when the Cuban government cracked down on 75 journalists and librarians and human rights activists, sentencing them to long prison terms. The death of Osvaldo Payá in 2012, that they made it seem like a car accident, but it was a death to silence him to the grave. And that was orchestrated by the Cuban government. And the ongoing repression, day in and day out, and the harassing and the detaining of dissidents, of political dissidents and human rights activists that goes on in Cuba to this very day. I'm kind of saddened that these chambers are emptied right now and they weren't as full as they were earlier today, because there are people who are still suffering this every single day in Cuba, just 90 miles away. And we talk here about rights. We talk here about supporting our LGBTQ community, about Black rights, about fighting anti-Semitism, and so much of this is happening also just 90 miles away. The suppression of free speech, the stifling of economic freedoms that continue unabated,
the painting of a grim picture of a nation where true freedom is just a distant thing, a distant dream. And so this year's Cuban Independence Day just hit me a little bit harder and stronger and perhaps a little bit more nostalgic because it was my grandparents. It was my grandparents who kept that alive, who reminded me of the suffering, of how dangerous that government is only 90 miles away, the impact that it's had in Latin America, what it's caused, its effects in Venezuela, its effects in Nicaragua, its impacts to democracy, the dangerous alliance between that repressive government and China and Russia and these global adversaries who aren't friends of the United States. And they are the true beacons of authoritarianism and betraying the very meaning of what it is to be a free society. And so as these older generations have gone away, those suffering have not. They continue to exist. And those of us who are in this free land need to continue remembering that, and we need to continue celebrating Cuban Independence Day so that those who are still suffering could truly be independent someday back in Cuba. And so that's something that this generation needs to inherit and needs to keep pushing forward. And I want to thank this mayor and this city commission for having signed this proclamation. This proclamation really wasn't intended to anyone. It was not for a photo op to present it to any one individual. It's to keep on reminding ourselves, our community, our society, that we need to continue being a beacon for diversity, for inclusion, for respect, for human rights, for freedom of speech, for free and open elections, not just here in the United States, but for those who are not that far away from us, just 90 miles away. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Fernandez. You mentioned you didn't do it for the photo op, but do you want a picture? Okay. So one housekeeping item before we adjourn, and I'll turn it over to you, Commissioner Fernandez, but I understand you have an issue with the scheduled June 26th commission date. Since there's only 4 of us here, I would say we give direction to our city clerk, Rafael, to work behind the scenes, email, phone calls to try to come up with a date that will work with the scheduling conflict that you now have.
Yes, if we could, if the city clerk could work on that, and hopefully we can find an alternate date. I won't be here on June 26th. Thank you.
Thank you. Great meeting. Thank you, everyone. Good awards and proclamations. We'll see you soon.